Welcome to The Stage Whisperer, the podcast for experts who want to be standout speakers. I'm your host, Aurora Gregory, and I'm here to help you unlock the secrets of powerful speaker branding. Here you'll get take-action tips to elevate your speaker game, along with insights from top speakers, event planners, and other experts, so you can make speaking the effective tool it needs to be in your business. Ready to make your mark on stage? Let's dive in. So I had the opportunity to speak at a mastermind I'm a part of about 6 weeks ago. And it was a great experience. I was really thrilled. It was my second time getting selected to speak to the group that I'm a part of. And I really love how my business coach, Julie Chanel, picks the speakers for our live in-person mastermind meetups. She actually calls our presentation Gives. You come in as a member of the group and you give a 30-minute talk on something that you're an expert on. There's no selling involved. We're not there to sell to one another. We're there to share our expertise and help each other grow as peers. She, maybe 6 or so weeks before our meetup and mastermind, she asks anyone who wants to be considered to give her the topic. So you've got to send her the title and the description of what it is that you want to talk about. And she compiles all of that material, and then she sends it out to the group, and the group votes. And the people who get the most votes are the ones that are selected to speak. But here's the kicker. Here's the thing that's different about how you get voted on. The only thing that the group gets to see is the title of your presentation. They don't get the description. They don't get your learning objectives. They don't get any of the details about what you're going to talk about. They only get to see the title. They get to vote based on the title. So that means that the title of the presentation that you send in has got to be really good. It's got to be compelling. It's got to be interesting. It's got to be creative. It's got to communicate everything that you want the audience to know about your session so that you can get enough votes. And I love that because it's such a big reminder that selling our presentations when we are pitching ourselves as speakers, that sales job actually starts with the title. You've got to start with a title that is super compelling and interesting, that really grabs the reader's attention right from the beginning. It's got to have a little bit of creativity while also matching a bit of a key takeaway that the audience is going to get from listening to your presentation. But if you don't get that audience member or whoever it is that's actually selecting presentations, if you don't get them interested in the title of your presentation right off the jump, there's a strong chance that they might not dip their eyes a little lower to read the description of what it is that you have to share, the actual pitch. So I always like to remind the speakers that I work with that your presentation and selling your presentation actually starts with the title. So here are a few tips that I love to give people when it comes to working with titles and creating really compelling, interesting titles that grab people's attention. I love a good title that has what I like to call an A-B format. The A part of the title is that interesting, compelling, maybe clever, humorous part of the title. It's the part that when someone reads it, it makes them say, "Oh, that's interesting." Stop me if this sounds familiar. You've got receipts. You're clearly an expert. But when it comes to landing speaking gigs, crickets. That's about all you hear. Here's the truth no one tells you. The brand that built your business isn't the brand that's going to get you booked on stages. That's why I created a free masterclass, Why Even the Most Qualified Experts Get Passed Over for Stages. In less than an hour, I'll show you my 3-step speaker brand blueprint, the same strategy my clients use to land dream stages, generate leads, and get paid to speak, without cold pitch burnout or paying an agent thousands. If you're ready to stop being the best kept secret and finally step into the spotlight, this is where it starts. Head to speakerbrandacademy.com/masterclass and register now. Let's get you on stage where you belong. Then There's the B part of the title, which is much more practical. That's the part of the title that explains what the key takeaway of the presentation is. What is the key point of what your talk is going to be about? So that creative part can come from any number of places. It can be from maybe a humorous way that you talk about what it is that you do, and you're going to incorporate that into your presentation. It could actually be a take on a song title or a book title. It could be a twist on, say, a common idiom or something, that some common phrasing that we use in our regular everyday language when we're talking about something. That creative part can come from any number of places, and you put your own fresh creative spin on it. And then the B part of the title is the part that explains that key takeaway. It really describes or informs the reader what is a bit of the transformation that the audience is going to experience after they've had the chance to listen to this presentation. They both need to work together. That creative part causes the reader to lean in, and the more practical part really informs the reader as to what it is that they're going to glean or what they're going to get from having listened to you. Now, a bit more on the B part of the title. It's really important that the B part be able to stand by itself. Sometimes when you get selected to speak, the host or whoever's putting together, say, the marketing materials for the event, they may not have enough room to allow for the A and the B part of the title to appear on all of the marketing materials. And so they've got to make some changes they've got to cut. And if the B part of the title, that practical piece, can stand by itself, still be interesting, still be compelling, still be something that captures someone's interest, then you're golden, because then they can take the creative part off if they have to. It will have done its job. It will have gotten you on the agenda. And the B part can stand by itself, and it still does the work that you need it to do, which is to draw that audience in and help them be interested in wanting to be a part of the session that you're presenting. I like titles that are no longer than 13 words. I know that's an odd number, but usually with 13 words, you should be able to come up with a title that's really strong and has that creative, interesting, fun, clever A part with a really strong, compelling, practical B part. So if you get much past 12 or 13 words, you've probably gone too long. You need to go back to the drawing board. Your title is a really small piece of copy. 13 words is really not very much, but it's so critically important because it really can set the tone for whether or not whoever it is that's making selections about presenters for any number of types of events. It could be a live stage, a virtual event, even for a podcast. It could make the difference as to whether or not they dip their eyes a little further and read more about what it is that you have to share with an audience. So I loved the exercise that my coach set in front of all of us, which is to come up with a really great title, something strong and interesting that would really draw votes to our side so that we could get picked to speak at the mastermind. And I was really thrilled that my topic was one of the ones that got picked. And you might be curious, what was the title that I shared? I thought I would go ahead and share it with you. My title was, "Thanks for Having Me: 5 Ways to Elevate Your Podcast Guest Performance." And I talked about 5 ways that you as a guest on a podcast can really elevate your performance so that you deliver a great interview as a podcast guest. I loved doing that presentation. It was a lot of fun. And I really loved being able to come up with a great title. So it was really exciting to be able to get picked for that presentation. So that's what I wanted to share with you today about titles. If you are working on presentations, on pitches for stages, give yourself some extra time to work on that title. Small bit of copy, but it actually can be potentially the hardest part of the pitch that you write. And if you've got presentations that you are pitching, maybe you've used to get selected for in the past, but you'd love to see if you can elevate that a little bit more, a great place to see if you can level up your work is to take another fresh look at the title. And that'll do it for today's episode of The Stage Whisperer. Remember, every stage you step onto is an opportunity to impact lives and leave a lasting impression. Keep refining your craft and pushing the boundaries of what you can achieve with your voice. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast, leave a review, and share this episode with fellow speakers. Visit our website for more resources and follow us on social media to stay connected. I'm Aurora Gregory, and until next time, keep making your voice heard.